Hello, and welcome to the Heat Software short video series. My name is Rene Gonzalez, and I'm joined by my colleague, Bao Tran. And today we're going to cover enterprise mobility management capabilities in Heat LANrev. So Bao, when I'm talking to customers, one of the challenges, of course, everyone's heard of it, is the BYOD initiative, where users want to bring in their personal phones and connect to the corporate Wi-Fi, as an example, to check email, right? Very simple use case, and it sounds very innocent. But email is considered intellectual property, so the business needs a way to protect that intellectual property just in case that device gets lost or stolen. Can you show me how Heat LANrev can help?
Sure. So there's lots of ways that we actually approach that. The first is that when you enroll the device or anytime thereafter, the admin can go into Heat LANrev and actually designate that device as either a personal device or as a corporate device. So that will allow you to distinguish between those two in terms of grouping them, so you can manage them differently. Obviously, there's certain things you don't necessarily want to do to a personal device, because these days a lot of end users keep their lives, on their mobile devices, on their phones. So they're going to have lots of pictures, personal emails, and you don't necessarily want to be able to wipe those devices. So that will allow you to actually separate them. In terms of actually forcing the device into management, a lot of the problems with personal devices is that folks will bring them in and they'll just set up their email on there. A lot of times that's not necessarily a good idea, because then those end users have access to corporate resources, but you're not aware that they're actually on your network and that they have access to those corporate emails. So there's an option in the product for NDES certificate-based authentication for Exchange ActiveSync. What that means is that instead of authenticating on your iPhone or your Android device to check email with the username and password, you're using a certificate, an Active Directory certificate. And what that means is that the net result is that if the end user does not enroll in LANrev EMM, they don't get that certificate and they cannot check their corporate email. So that forces them to have to enroll the device. Now you have access to the device. If they leave the organization for any reason, you can always remove the email account that was set up through LANrev EMM management, right? So that will get rid of their corporate email account. You can remove their VPN configurations that you might have deployed to their device. You can remove Wi-Fi configuration profiles that you've sent down to their device for the various corporate offices that they've actually been to. And that will basically restrict their access to your corporate resources afterwards, so that they no longer have access to them anymore once they've left your organization. There's other facets to the product also. You can deploy applications if you need to. Maybe there's certain corporate applications that make sense for you. We do support the VPP program, Apple's debt program also. If you issue users corporate devices, like iPhones, for example, you can actually claim the devices in your account, set it up so that if someone resets the device, it automatically re-enrolls in your MDM server, so in your LANrev server. So that's something that's pretty easy to set up, just takes a couple minutes and you're ready to go.
Thank you, Bao. That concludes today's session. We thank you for attending, and we look forward for you attending future sessions.